Hi and welcome back to the channel. For those that follow me know that back in October I sprayed the MGA, did that in the garage here at home, and it went pretty well, not too bad, and I've given it now a fair few months for the paint to settle and sink and do whatever it's going to do and harden properly off. And during that period I've been working on the camper van and other things. But now I think I'm at the point where I need to fix some of the issues that I had during the painting process. All in all, it went quite well. It's very dusty now because I've been doing some carpentry, as I said, on the inside of the camper van, but I've got a few drips and runs, I think what I'm going to do is just work on the car in between other jobs, because it can be quite tedious, all this kind of stuff, but it's definitely something I need to address. So today we're going to have a go at this, which is a run that I've got on the back quarter. I mean, most of that is going to be covered with the bumpers going to go across here, but the rest of the panel's good. You know, all of this around here, this area is looking pretty sharp. I just need to tidy up that area there. So I'm just going to use a technique to try and recover the situation, get myself back to a really nice paint finish without breaking through and having to respray the whole thing. That's the plan. So I don't need a lot of equipment to do the job. Basically I've got some filler that I've used, well, extensively on the car. Not extensively, it makes it sound bad. Sparingly on the car where needed. This is a Evercoat Easy Sand. It's a really nice sandable product there with the hardener. I've got a little bit of masking tape. I've got some sanding pads and a nibbing block, which is really quite important. This is a super hard block that doesn't give it, it's got no give in it at all. And this is a pretty good system I've used before. I like it a lot. So I've got some grades, various grades, 800, 15, 250 and 2500 and 2000 grit there, and then this a rubbing compound, a finisher, bit of tape. But what I'm going to start with first is this little thing there, nice sharp razor blade, brand new. So this is a single stage paint, but the principle is exactly the same if you've done a base coat and clear as well. Obviously the idea here is that what we're trying to do is to remove the drip without taking off too much paint around the outside of the drip, and particularly where it's probably sagged, so it's probably going to be thinner in this bit where this drip has run down. It's possibly going to be thinner there. So the idea is that we're going to get rid of the high stuff and leave enough paint, obviously, on the car and not break through to the undercoat. So the first thing is I'm going to do is I'm going to use the razor blade and just try and remove these high blips, the nipples on the end of the runs there, to which will speed the process up a little. It's important also that this is really hard. If you try and do this immediately after the paint job's been done, there's a possibility you're going to tear rather than it graze away or shave away. You're going to tear the paint and it'll lift, and then you're into a respray. So let's just very gently pull across and just see if we can remove just some of the height. And there we go, it's coming off. Okay, I think that's as far as I want to go. I've taken a lot of the height off there now, so that sets me up for the next stage. Right, so I'm going to now mask out the obvious areas where I don't want to put any filler, and I definitely don't want to cut into the paintwork with a little bit of tape. That just gives these areas a bit of extra protection. Not sure whether this is entirely necessary, but it's just something I like to do. just to give myself a really good visual guide, and to, as I say, make sure I don't go and accidentally rub a piece of the paintwork that's thinner around the edge and cause myself more trouble. Right, and now I've mixed myself up a really small amount of filler, and it's just the absolute minimum amount, just over where I know that I've got the raised areas. I don't want any excess, and I don't want any height. And if it's just poking up through, that's not a bad thing. This just helps you to avoid cutting through the lower areas while you're rubbing down the high bits. Let's just get that on there. So I don't want any excess at all, just to protect those other low points. Okay, I'm going to start off with 800 grit on the nibbing pad. It's quite coarse for this kind of thing, so I'm just going to take it really easy and start to work away at the high areas, especially on the where the big drips at the bottom are, just to take with this coarser grit the top layers off. So this is, I've been at it for about an hour now. It takes quite a while. I'll move very quickly onto the 1200 grit, and I'm pretty much there. Almost all of the high is gone. I've got a little bit more just to do around here, not much, and then I'm going to start to move up the grades, because this has left obviously this has got a scratch of 1200 grit on it, so it's very dull. I've not broken through at all, so just a little bit more on this edge, and then we'll start to move up through the grades. Well, that's as far as I'm going to go with the 1200. I've just got, I can't feel them, but I've got a little bit of filler just left in there, I can see. So there's some very minor lows, but obviously there's a scratch on there, you can see there that it's a bit very dull. So now I'm moving on to 1500. I did at some point start to introduce water into this, you would have noticed, just because the grit just gets a bit clogged up really quickly. And now I'm going across the whole area that I've covered with the 1500, because the idea is now that we're going to reduce them or increase them, the higher grits, and reduce the scratch and bring it up to a polish. And this one's 2000, making the area very slightly bigger every time to make sure I catch all of the scratch of the previous grit. And this one's 2500 grit, and I've introduced some soap now into my water. Just make it a little bit more slippery. and then finally 3000 grids. And that's the final grit there, so that's like super smooth now, no shine on it of course, and you can see around the edge there there's all the stippling, and that's because the rest of the paintwork itself has got a little bit of orange peel in it. I will machine polish the whole car at some point, but I'll just run it over with a polisher just now, just in this particular area, just to see if I can bring that up on its own, and then the job will be done. Get that compound on, a little touch of water as well maybe. Let's give it a go. Okay. Get off on this. There you go. Oh, that's not bad at all. Quite pleased with that. I'll have to rub everything else over now. Hey, there you go, look. Polished up really nicely. Okay, well that's job done. Really pleased with that. I've got a few others to do, and at some point I've got to decide with some of the, I've got a few large strips whether I'm going to just cut it back and repaint. But that just, it's a slow old process. It's taken me a few hours to get this small drip done, but it's very doable at home in your garage. I hope that's been helpful to you or to somebody. If you like the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you again. Thank you, bye.